Welcome back to the high-flying, power-fighting, cosmic adventure of this week's DC reboot of The Crit of Steel. This is your GM Patrick here, your genetic, manipulative, codex crash landing on Earth and living my dream of being adopted by Kevin Costner. Joining me this week in fighting off some thugs from my home planet are my 5 super friends and your Kryptonian players. Across the digital table for me, he's a high-flying hero with a symbol that stands for peace. It's Myles playing Rami.
Good evening.
On my right, an army pilot ready to fly a C-47 into the Phantom Zone. It's Tyler playing Edrass.
Sound check.
To his left, a scary, spooky general ready to terraform Earth for her people. It's Rebecca playing Alyndra.
Hello.
To my left, a fiery reporter on the case and ready to travel to space. It's Drew playing Feldspar.
Why did you say that name?
And finally, to his left, the holographic embodiment of a father figure from afar. It's Gibert as Andis148.
But in this one, I'm Kevin Costner.
You want to be my Kevin Costner?
I'm both. I'm
not Russell Crowe.
Kevin Costner is both dads.
You want the dumbest death in cinema?
Oh, there's been dumber.
Very few.
Much dumber. Guys, no trivia recap this week because we are setting course for unknown waters in leveling up to 16th level with the Starfinder characters. The 15th time we've gone over a new level upgrade here on the podcast. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about there's not a feat or like last level. There's a lot of stuff. 15th level, but let's talk about your new class abilities, new powers, things like that. Who wants to go first?
Mine's boring.
Yeah, I have a pretty boring.
Myles, you can't have a boring one. You get level 6 spells.
I get spells,
that's amazing.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's pretty cool. And after you gave us the business last book, I decided it's time to give you a taste of your own medicine. So I took Disintegrate.
Yeah, I figure that was going to happen. And I mean, with like bonus spells and cash and stuff, you can just be blasting Disintegrate left and right. All it takes is one failed fortitude save, and it's so much damage. Do you want to try and practice roll 14 D20?
We'll see what happens in the field.
What was your other spell?
The other spell will be revealed if I ever decide to use it.
Okay, is it on your character sheet?
Yeah. It's not a surprise to you, but
all right. Well, I just want to make sure that it's not like
we talked about it earlier.
Okay, then Tyler, you said you also have a boring level. Is this a fighter style level?
Yeah. This is a good
soldier
old combat feat level.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! I took opening volley.
Opening volley, isn't that like a level 1?
It's like a level 2 feeder. I mean, it's just like
wasn't that the name of our first episode?
Probably, dude. I mean, I don't know, but it
might have been the episode 0. Yeah.
I just got like, I mean, there's another feat I could have taken. I think I'm just gonna take it next level though. I mean, I just get feats all day, every day. I just drown in feats. So I took this one because it works. It works with Edrass's charge style because...
Well, you've got a ranged and melee weapon there. You can switch.
The Spear of Fates does very well with this because I can start it off in range mode, shoot, swift action to the other side, and then as a standard action, I can make a charge attack with 2 attacks at the end with the bonus from opening volley. So there is a niche way that this can be used. I thought I do charge attack quite often. There's kind of like no reason not to do it. So
okay. Woohoo. Anyone else? Who's next?
I can go. Mine was sort of 3 revelations in one because I took Adaptive Photon, which allows me, when I'm fully attuned, to gain one of these 3 revelations that I don't normally have access to. So the ones that I chose are Gamma Distortion, which will protect us from radiation. So if that ever comes up, Soul Furnace, which gives me a second saving throw and also gives me a way to get rid of a whole bunch of conditions. If that ever comes up. No, Confusion is not one of them, unfortunately. And then the third one that I chose was Burn Enchantment, which will help against spellcasters if that ever comes up. So I went with some revelations that are very situational,
Yeah, it sounds
but I'm
like
prepared.
You're going super Batman mode, plan B through Z, every other potential plan. Excellent. All right, who do we got left? We got an Andis, we got a Gnak. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Andis, 148.
Yeah. Just trying to decide if I wanted to pick up Pinpoint Sense or Violent Outburst. I'm going with Violent Outburst as a what do they call them for evolutionists? Evolutionist adaptation.
Right.
Basically, I get rewarded for spending evolution points. If I spend two of them. If I spend two or more evolution points to use an adaptation as a reaction, I get to make an attack with a -2 modifier. If I've spent 5 or more since my last turn, I get to make 2 attacks with a -4.
Okay.
So I can potentially make 5 attacks in a round. So
just burning through the evolution points.
Yeah, you can only do it once every 10-minute rest. So it's
still that could be going sicko mode on the enemy. Just blah!
Right. And again, and since that's part of the reaction, it's the multi-attack penalty doesn't apply to it, so it's just based on the negatives of the negatives you get from the actual thing. So it is it's pretty cool little ability, and I feel like I need more things to spend my evolution points on.
I was about to say,
I don't have too many things to do. But
have you spent 5 in a round or since the end of your last turn?
So I can
sounds like you do it usually pretty early on in combat to get stuff ready, right?
Right. So I mean, sort of each round I'm at least spending 1 just to make my attack my base attack, but I can sort of swift action to activate a better movement speed. I've got I have another reaction called Vent Plasma. So, where I can, sort of react to somebody who hits me. I mean, I've got things to do, but honestly, there aren't all that many ways to spend evolution points, which is so.
Okay, Gnak, Feldspar, final level up, 16th level up. Talk. What you got?
So
you had a improv.
Yeah, I get an improv this level, and there are a lot of improvs that you can get at the level that we are, but a lot of them do kind of the same thing, but in different ways. So I chose to do one that's a little off kilter, and one that I did not expect. It's called Quick Study. And as a move action, Gnak has been paying very close attention. He's been partnered with this crew for a long time, and he thinks he might have picked up a few things. So as a move action, I can become proficient with a type of weapon which another ally within 30 feet is proficient, and also gain that character's weapon specialization with that same weapon type. So Gnak can now, if he's within 30 feet of Edrass, use any weapon in the game.
Are we going to see heavy weapon Gnak soon?
Maybe we will. So it's just a matter of I did have Gnak pick up the long arm from the last combat, just because that was actually better than the heavy weapons that dropped. So he might be pulling that out. This is a once per 10-minute rest situation, so it's not going to be something that pops out every fight, but it lasts.
It lasts basically the entire fight. It's at this level 8 rounds.
Yes, it's half your envoy level, so 8 rounds for now. So
awesome! Yeah. Oh, well, I can't wait to see that put into effect. Awesome. All right, well, let's get back on with the adventure and with our next book of the Devastation Ark Saga. When we guys last left off, you all gained access to the final computer banks of the World Seed, managed to begin to shut down the core, and we kind of fast traveled from there and downloading perhaps the information on the computer banks. You resting up and then making your way back surface side, where we see Uso, the Bantred, patiently waiting, spinning his ball in place with a furrowed brow, with some other Abadar Corps acolyte interns kind of buzzing about. And as the door opens and he sees you all emerge from the underground starship catacombs, bloodied and covered in soot and ash, and beaten up, your armor melted at places, he lets out a whoa! Oh, my starfighters! You did it! You're back! Oh, we've been monitoring readings showing the temperature and have stopped climbing. I don't know what you did, how you did it, but you did it!
Sorry, what's this guy's name?
Uso, you remember me? We met just a couple days ago.
Uso, not Izu. I was getting them confused. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, wow.
Oh, do us Bantreds all sound the same? Because we're jammed by one person. Oh, I see how it is. Our Lord Abadar showers us with wealth because you are all alive and you still have your vitality. No, you didn't die. No, you didn't die. In that awful pit of despair, and now you're back topside, breathing clean oxygen. Hey, I'm very excited. You can tell because I'm a singing.
Yes, I could tell you're singing a song. That's really something. And Andis claps politely.
You look okay, but these other ones, you guys look like you're almost dead. Let me get you to our medical base. Get you some grub, some dinner. You guys.
Oh yes, they are in desperate need of medical attention. I suppose I should hold my applause until we get Alyndra's foot reattached.
Oh goodness! Oh my God! I didn't even see that. He will indeed lead you to the golden elevator and head up the large tower vault here to a medical office that looks very sanitized. There's clean looking tables, robotic equipment. Some Bantred doctors come to see to you. Let's talk about some of your ongoing conditions that you guys have and the ways to repair them. Rebecca, you indeed lost your leg against the fight against the Adiko Daemon.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of forgot that happened until Andis so kindly just reminded me. I was
You're probably going to repair that.
I was about to say, would Alyndra dance in this moment? No, she would not because her leg is still injured.
She would hop about. Yeah, so you got some options here. The Mystic Priests of Abadar can do a restoration spell for 3,600 credits, and that's, returning your leg basically to full working status. You can also, much cheaper option, get a cybernetic replacement for the base model is 100 credits. You can get different speed boosts and things.
I already have speed suspension.
So
Mark 2.
Yeah, that's a leg enhancement. I don't think that replaces your leg, right?
I think it does. Isn't it?
It depends on the mark. I don't know if Mark 2 is full leg replacement.
What is it called?
Speed suspension Mark 2 is her specific one.
MK2. If that's the case, that is destroyed then. Oh boy. Don't Google that without Googling Starfinder at the same time. It also brings up a lot of car parts. You gotta get your MK2 speed suspension on your hammy there.
I think I have standard. Let me double check that. I might have minimal. No, I just have minimal.
Yeah. Oh. So you replace joints and tendons and things with cybernetics. This isn't those are destroyed and or messed up as well with this, but your leg does need to be replaced. So you will still have the speed suspension. If you want to get a full cybernetic leg, it'll just augment that leg, but it's up to you what you want to do. You can become more RoboCop if you want to just do a quick cybernetic replacement of that.
Oh, if you're going to do that, you should get a hideaway limb.
I was about to say, there's other options.
A hideaway leg?
Yeah. It's basically you got like a hollow space where you can stick stuff, and then there's a quick draw version of it where you can just snap it out of your leg.
I don't know. I feel like Alyndra would really struggle with this. Cybernetics to begin with are a little weird for her. I think
but you already have
its nature.
You have speed suspension already.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that there are different merchandising opportunities. We can have a whole new line of Alyndra action figures with a red leg. You can have a red leg for no reason all of a sudden.
Well, that wouldn't go very well with my armor choice, would it?
Well, you can make it change color anytime you want. So, you can match any armor you want, and we could also release like 45 action figures.
I would recommend you get these X legs. So you've just got like spider legs. You've just got 4 legs.
We'd have to get all new art for Alyndra. She would be a spider.
Yeah, that's too expensive.
Right. So you've got some options if you want to think about it. The doctors will, bring out like an Abadar Core price chart and maybe see what your Starfinder insurance
Am I just
will help
looking at
copay.
a prosthetic leg? Because that's like $100 or 100 credits.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you need to basically get back full mobility in your leg.
All right. I'll do some shopping.
Okay.
And let you know.
You need someone to spot you some credits, 100 credits.
I mean, Rami will be happy to
No.
spot some credits.
I have plenty of credits.
he would be happy to be funding the Alyndra charity.
Does Rami require that she do some marketing on the leg? Like she has to have like a banner ad.
Yeah, every now and then, like you just hear like a little radio commercial popping out of like the knee joint.
This step brought to you by Quinn-Darr.
You guys also, the vast majority of you, also have forgotten vast swaths of childhood memories and skills.
I don't think Rami did.
I think you and Alyndra maybe saved from whatever that was in the trap. In the world seed, the cold mist that seemed to affect your memory. You guys have leveled up, and if you want to try another mysticism check with an aid here from the guidance of the Abadar Medical Lab, go ahead and roll that now. See if you can figure out what's happening. Sure. See if we get some better rolls this time around. There's a better roll. Drew, do you have no ranks in mysticism? What's that?
I have wisdom damage. I'm -7 whiz.
That's a good point. I think even though Myles might have some still as well, a natural 20.
I took int damage, I think.
I think it was both.
I also took int damage, yeah.
when you took it, it was 4 for both, but a natural 20 with your bonus here. Much better than the last time you rolled because we couldn't get any information. You guys were hit with the Civ stasis cloud, stasis cloud, I should say. And it's in its diluted form. It still had this very potent quantum effect that indeed seemed to be used to wipe memories. And it seemed like this was technology that was used on board the ship, perhaps to continuously wipe Bantrid slaves' minds as they were brought out of stasis, maybe as a means of keeping them complacent or erasing thoughts of uprising, erasing personalities. Every single one of those pods on the ship likely had some kind of access to this cloud.
Would Rami know a better way to, or at least to convey to the doctors what to do to swiftly get rid of the effects?
So, yeah, I mean, if you're talking it over with the doctors, and Uso here is just like, oh, that's awful. You guys were hit with that. I don't know what trials my people had to go through to escape the civs, but what you guys experience is it jives with the cultural amnesia we had on our emergence here years ago on him. Let me talk to my priest here. This is a kind of mental damage that can be repaired with the spell Modify Memory, or spending time kind of retraining the skills that you lost and like focusing on those memories. So like a physical therapy, but a mental therapy for the mind. So, and as 148's going back to school, it's now a school comedy where you're learning about the bodies of animals.
It's Billy Madison too.
Me, I am just wanting to be able to get rid of the the int and wisdom damage?
So damage will heal up as you rest overnight. So getting, 4 days of rest and that damage will heal itself. You can also...
Do we get 4 days of rest?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have time here. You got some time to relax. Not just on... Well, and if you want to retrain those spell or the stasis cloud damage, you can do that here on Hib, or you can take off and head somewhere else if you want to do a little R&R. But yeah, maybe before you leave, Uso will take a look over some of your gear, and indeed it sets off some mysticism red flags with his people. He's like, oh, your technology seems to be compromised somehow. Let's take a look at this. You guys can also, now that you've leveled up, make an engineering or mysticism check. You got some time to look at your stuff. Look at your gear. Maybe as you're taking it off to do some healing. Ooh. Hey, there's a natural 20 from Rebecca. Is this including any int damage you have? Oh, Gibert, you didn't take any int damage.
Do I need to roll another one, or?
Yeah, you can roll. Yeah, this is for a different thing, so feel free to roll mysticism or engineering, or either or. Okay, so I think between Andis, who's not affected, and Rami, you've rolled a 40 for this. Taking a look over the gear and maybe sorting it out. Alyndra's haste circuit, Gnak's laser pistol, Rami, your armor, and the Spear of Fates all seem to be affected by a curse. Maybe as you place them in a scanner.
Well, we already knew one of those things, so that was redundant.
knew about the Spear of Fates. Well, this all seems to be the same curse as you place them in the scanner. There's a black distorted energy that kind of makes the screen flicker and hard to read. And as you describe what these creatures were, this evil Gnak and Rami that assaulted you all, Uso will say, "Oh my, the elders who taught us of Abadar Core warned us of Adiko Daemons. Warned us about them infiltrating the organization, trying to tank stocks. What kind of monster wishes for bankruptcy?" Well, it seems like hopefully you guys survived its attack, and it's maybe resisted its temptations to turn on one another. It's been known to turn business partners against each other and have them vote one another off a board.
Oh, well, no, luckily nothing like that happened.
So, taking a look, it seems like if you guys want to leave your stuff with the Techno Precept Abadar Core, they can use Remove Affliction to remove the curses and, basically work on your tech to get this broken. This is a ability that Adiko Daemons have, and unfortunately you guys agreed to Izu helping you with like armor and weapons when you got that huge loot drop, and that's when he basically, if you just like agree to any aid from these monsters, you get affected. And
how many days are we resting, and how many items are affected?
So casting this, they can do it in a couple of days. Everyone,
I'm just saying,
one item.
Edrass has Remove Affliction.
Okay, so if you want to do that, it'll reduce that time to like just a day to cast and look this over.
What did the curse do?
Oh, great question. I don't have the daemons pulled up right now, but it's a bunch of different things. The weapons, I think I've rolled them a couple times when you guys were in the fight. Weapons have a chance, a D100 chance, to instead just target a different person.
Oh, wow.
So if you're trying to use the Spear of Fates to attack someone, I had to roll a D100 there, and it could have just wasted an ally instead. The reason why the haste circuit burnt out so quickly is it uses double charges. So now instead of whatever, like a minute or so, it does double time. And I think armor, it reduces charges as well. Let me bring up the Adiko Daemon. This is a curse called the Curse of Planned Obsolescence.
Cool.
So yeah,
Kind of hits a little too close to home.
Weapons weapons have a 25%
Brought to you by Apple Podcasts.
Hey.
Weapons have a 25% chance of targeting nearest ally gear, a 50% chance of doubled usage for the time, and the only other way to get rid of this curse is spend 1 month abstaining from mass-produced gear. That's like almost everything in Starfighter. So it's like, what? Why would they ever do that? Anyway, yeah. So if you guys are okay. Oh, I had to hear my notes. I don't know why. I just didn't scroll down to my notes. I had this all written out. If you want to spend some time relaxing here on Hib, like I said, Abadar Corps is willing to front your hotel, some accommodations for you. Some. I mean, there's no ski slopes here. I'm so sorry, but there's nice parks, maybe historical towers and things all over the planet. If you want to do some R&R here, I think we talked about selling some of the World Seed technology to Uso and Abadar Corps, and he can draft up that paperwork to make it official and add 300,000 credits to your bank accounts. And if you get in contact with Chiskis, they can add another 25k per person for some of the historical data as well. So a little bit of a cred drop here with 425k total.
Awesome.
5 by 5.
And Uso, maybe after a day or so, will take you all out to a business lunch, sign some paperwork, go over some things, and comes with like a bunch of large cases, maybe some of his interns rolling behind him as you come into a swanky Bantrid restaurant with Versite chefs, and we'll start the transfer of the data that you pulled off the World Seed mainframe. And as he's looking over, he's like, wow, it looks like indeed a very detailed record of my people's journey here on this ship. The Bantrid people's pilgrimage to Hib. Seems our people revolted against the Civs and managed to make it all the way here. The records I'm reading about this Commandant Vaaranas, he sounds like a real ball staller, excuse my language. He'll go over some of this historical data with you, but indeed, a lot of it, I think you've already discovered from computers on Jeddarat. Indeed, the ancient war between the Civ and the Kishali. The time frame is after the Stellar Degenerator was captured, and mind you, this was a Civ death machine that the Kishali were able to take over. This Vaaranas accelerated plans for these massive generation ships to be built, and one of them was the World Seed, and supposedly the other was known as Ark Prime. And your reading here says that Prime scouted ahead, leaving behind a skeleton crew on Jeddarat, or whatever they called that planetoid, to guard the Bantrids. And that's when the revolt happened, and they sent off the ship without a full crew and things like that. And yeah, basically got as far as they could without the access codes that you found. The engines weren't complete, and so they were only able to get as far as Liavara and settle into orbit. And the entire planetoid of Hib is basically that ship with dirt and things packed around it. I mean, it's been here for millennia, so it's formed a huge moon that the Bantrids eventually kind of walked out upon. So it built up space dust and rocks and things all that time. Oh, we have you all to thank. Our cultural history will be intact after this. And I think I'll be able to utilize this to rally enough Bantrids to my side to help go for full independence and seek a seat on the Pact Council. We're a warrior people! We took on the ancient Civ Empire! Hoorah! Can I get a so-sorry ball?
So-sorry ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is music to my ears! I can sing about it!
I was gonna say, you're not only storied fighters, you are also incredible singers.
We're like warrior bards of old,
Right.
but more handsome, ballsier. We got the balls to prove it.
Oh, yes, you do.
Well, it's been a great getting to know you. Was it Ballsy? Is that what that was? Okay, bye, Balzo.
But, we've only known each other for a few days. I understand. Big blow to my pride. I thought we were cool in this. Anyway, I want to thank you all again. And to thank you officially from Abadar Corps, well, I got some presents for you. Not just your gear back, but I got some stuff from my personal vault, as bequeathed to me by Abadar Corporate HQ on Absalom.
The first box he opens, a small golden one, and you see a glistening, magical, shiny fusion seal. A level 20 axiomatic weapon fusion seal. That's one you can just kind of plop on a weapon to get that bonus. No need to etch it into the side of your guns or what have you. And level 20, it can go on anything. The axiomatic one, I believe, bypasses chaotic DR. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So nice little fusion there. Another metal suitcase he brings out. There is a suit of bespoke echelon fashion armor. I think it's probably human, but he says he can have his people tailor it to whoever wants this. And finally, in the last case, there's an assortment of fine art pieces, luxurious textiles, basically Bantrid treasure totaling 10,000 credits.
5,000 or
It's great. You can do math, Tyler. I got it.
no, I really can't.
5,000 for two of you, or
Yes.
divided by 5, a little bit more. I'll put the bespoke armor in the chat there, and do I also have? Oh yeah, I've got my notes are so complete that I wrote weeks ago. The axiomatic fusion, indeed. Any attacks with weapon are lawful aligned, so it bypasses DR/lawful. So chaotic outsiders or dragons or things like that, you would just cut through like butter.
Anyway, here's the rest of your equipment. It's been decursified, though. I'm sorry, Edrass. We tried our best on the Spear of Fates, but there is a deep magical curse on this thing. We consulted with Golden Vault Technomancers on Absalom about it. Can't figure it out, so sorry. But we got the Daemon's curse lifted, and as soon as we did, it reconfigured itself. The shooty end and the slicing end. And it started to emit blue-white plasma. You gotta be careful of this thing. It nearly destroyed 10,000 credits worth of equipment when we turned it on. Anyway, we already deducted that from your payout, so don't worry about that. Those charges are included in your pay. But yeah, this thing is really cursed, man.
Yes, It is a strange weapon, and is why I do not let anybody else use it. It is mine to carry.
The best our techs can figure out is it has some kind of confirmed destiny, and it's going to continue to underperform until, well, it fulfills that destiny. So it's going to try to kill you until you do. You figure out what's going on with it.
I mean, I figure our enemies need some kind of handicap, so I might as well keep using it until I figure out what its destiny really is.
Well, you've got a weapon upgrade here because indeed both ends of the gun have been upgraded to plasma weaponry in a little bit higher plasma weaponry. A blue star plasma caster for the shooty bit and a white star plasma doshko. So no longer just fire doshko.
Oh,
but
nice.
It is now the average level of the weapon is now 16 and it does 5d10 electricity and fire. So both ends of the gun do the same amount of damage. Hopefully that'll be a little. And it still has it's got the boost ability still for the shooting.
Yeah, for the shooty end. Yeah,
a little more powerful, and that will definitely.
That's awesome.
You'll roll better with it.
Right? Oh, 100% chance of that happening.
Oh, right. So after you get done with this business deal, do you guys want to stay here on Hib to finish your rehabilitation? What would you like to do?
Yes.
Yeah, taking some.
Yeah, I think that's best.
Well-earned R&R. What do you want to do on Hib? Anything fun?
Get my memories back?
Yeah. What was your skill that you were missing?
I'm wisdom damage and int damage, so.
Yeah. Well, you were also affected by the stasis cloud. You had a pretty big negative. Do you remember what your skill was that you were missing? I don't remember what everyone's was.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you gonna make me look at my notes, Drew? Is that what you're saying? I remember for Andis, it was life science. Does that sound right?
Mine was -5 to mysticism.
Oh, yeah. That's why your mysticism roll was so low.
Yeah.
You had a +2 when you rolled it earlier this episode. So
yeah, there it is. There's that -5.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Right. Yeah. As you wrap up your rehabilitation and seeing the sights.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah. Oh, there are posters.
That's why they call it HIB.
There's posters all over the doctor's offices making that same joke. And indeed, you can. Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole day thing. You have time to see the sights and get the I Heart HIB shirts and caps that you want. But yeah, you get a transmission in a few days' time from Starfinder HQ with Chiskiss, who relays a message that reads, "Congratulations on turning on the air conditioning on HIB, Drift Rider crew. We have had to call our we've been called to present our findings to the Pact Council Directorate." So he's asking you to return to Absalom Station for a debriefing and see if you can inform the higher ups on the Pact Council about what has happened and what almost befell HIB, what disaster nearly befell them.
Heck yeah, we can do that.
Let's see. Getting back to Absalom, we're in the same star system, mind you. We're in the Pact Worlds. It is basically 1d3 days via drift travel or 1d6 +2 under traditional thrusters. Is it time to get back in the Drift Rider and blast off?
I mean, Edrass is good to go if everybody else is.
Yeah, I do want to mention that Alyndra has invested in speed suspension complete, so she's just replaced her legs now.
Okay.
Very fast ones.
Now, Alyndra, I have to ask you, what color did you pick? Did you pick a red leg so that next movie we can just have you say, "Hey, I don't know if anybody noticed that I have a red leg. You might not have recognized me because of this red leg that I have."
I think I'm missing a reference. What?
Yeah, so yeah, you are.
Is this a C-3PO thing? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows that Alyndra is the C-3PO of this podcast.
Of all the characters, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, these are the complete system is a level 12 cybernetic upgrade. And I imagine it's like full on cyberpunk. You got a little bit of Alyndra left in those legs, but for the most part, it is super speed. It increases your land speed by 30 feet.
By 30 feet. So yes, I think Alyndra is still holding on to, that she is, after all, really into physical science. Nature means something to her. I think that she would put her earthbound anklet around her cybernetic leg, even though she can't benefit from it because she has too many magical items on, just for aesthetics,
just for old
just to bring her back down to earth.
So just like one of them, it's now a fashion accessory that
yes, exactly.
Maybe Edrass comes up to you and is just like, "So if you keep replacing body parts, can you even feel the cosmetic energy or the cosmos hoopla that powers your abilities, or you're just cut off from that? I don't even know how that works."
Yeah, Cattywampus is definitely poking at the entire journey. He's like, "Can you feel this?
Mind over matter. Mind over matter."
You wake up and he's taking a foot. He's tinkering with it. He's like, "I'm next to paint it red. I'm sorry." Sorry. Right. So heading back to Absalom, are you popping into the drift? Because if so, it takes a day to get back there.
Oh, yeah. Absalom
because we
drift.
healed for 4 days, right? So we're good now?
Oh, yeah. Fully healed of the damage. And with the trip back, you can finish off your mental therapy, get that straightened out. So, yeah, it was a bit of a rough go there at the end of this book. You guys kind of, I don't want to say this, but you sailed through the beginning parts of book 1. That end, though, woo!
Yeah, it caught up to us.
Whee! got pretty intense. Yeah, but as soon as you exit drift travel, get closer to Absalom and connect with its infosphere, you're bombarded with news reports and holos. There's a big to-do on the edge of Pact Space. As you open up your viewfinder, you get a moment of static before familiar faces on Absalom Station News Channel 1. The number 1 reporter, Lyda Lantrell, now sitting at a desk at the Blue Rise Tower in Studios ASN 1, says, "Well, if you're just joining us, we are continuing coverage of the story of a large unidentifiable starship without identifier tags that has entered into Pact Space past Octurne. Several ships in the area that have investigated have gone silent, and the worst is feared. We reached out to the Pact stewards, the Council, and even Starfinder HQ, but so far no consensus has emerged to this vessel's origin. We're going to keep you up to date with every development as this case as it unfolds. So I know my viewers are keen to know if this has anything to do with a recent disturbance on the moon of Hib." Cattywampus, as soon as they get to the good part, of course, changes the channel to cartoons and sits down in the captain's chair with cereal and pickle juice and starts chomping away. Nom, 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 nom. That was boring.
Cattywampus, get up.
No.
I cast disintegrate.
Do they have?
I'm rolling that fortitude save.
Do they have images of? Oh boy! Oh no!
Gone forever. The chair is. He jumps out of the way. You didn't mean to. You have to actually roll an attack roll with that stupid spell.
I wasn't being serious.
Nope, you said it. One is gone for the day. No. He says, yeah, it's a 6-day morning animation annihilation block, channel 5. Now that we're back in Absalom Station space, I reserved this time on our space calendar to watch this. So if you wanted the big screen, you just got to reserve it. There's a small one back in the galley, though. You can have that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull up on a data pad if there are any images of this ship.
Yes, nothing up close. You just see like computer readouts and indeed perhaps like hypothetical drawings. It just looks like a big blob in space as far as anyone's gotten to it.
Do we know roughly the size?
Massive.
So could we?
Oh, it's so big.
Could we potentially presume that this is Arc Prime?
You presume whatever you want, Drew.
So we know how big. We know roughly how big portions of the world seed are. Is there a check that we could compare the world seed to what this is?
I mean, they're both miles long. They are like beyond capital ships. So if indeed that is your only metric, then this very well could be another style generation ship similar to the world seed. That was, yeah. I don't think we got a full, I don't know if I have full stats on how big it is, because it's, under the planet. It is like the core of the planet. So
that's no moon.
Yeah, this one is no moon. Well, it is a moon, but it's also a starship. Although I don't think you could like move Hib with.
How cool would that be?
World seed. I don't know. You'd have to extend like a force field or something. No, yeah, you guys can get back to Absalom Station. There's a private Feldspar co-docking bays along with some of the extremely kind of wealthy private docks right in the center top ring. And indeed, as you exit the Drift Rider, you're met with a security detail and driver from Quinn-Darr Incorporated that comes along with a holo message from your parents, Rami, hearing about the corpse fleet attack weeks prior, saying they're not taking any chances. So you're no longer allowed to walk around the station. You gotta have a personal car escort you.
The last time we had a personal car, we got attacked on the side of the road.
Yeah, I remember the one. Yeah, I have distinct memories, so I am not going to abide by that.
Okay, well, if you
it's my company now, they can't do anything about it.
They still control the stocks and things.
They control nothing. I've removed them.
I disintegrated them while we were talking, Patrick. I've got so many disintegrates per day. Yeah, well, if you move away from the vehicle, eschewing it, the door opens from the inside, and stepping out is another friendly face, that of Isafina Knotts, the corporate liaison from Jedrat. And she seems to be finishing up a holographic message from Uso. And she says, please, Mr. Quinn-Darr, Mr. Feldspar, all of you, welcome. But please, we have a very short time. I've been hired by Abadar Corps to indeed leave Jedrat now that the opening has finished on our ski resort horizon, New Horizons. I've come here to facilitate between the Golden Vault and the Starfinders about some of these claims to the Civian technology and better facilitate you all as your personal attaché. I've been apprised of the situation, but have you spoken with the Starfinder HQ yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, we're not at liberty to say too much about the goings-on. I presume you understand.
Oh, I have been given full clearance, and part of that is because, well, I worried that this is some kind of chain reaction that my personal digging around on Jedrat calls that has caught up with us. If we hadn't gone digging down in those catacombs, then perhaps they would not have activated, and the towers on Hib wouldn't have gotten that code. But yes, this new threat that has entered the Pact world system, well, it seems to be linked, and well, the timetables have accelerated. Please get in the car. We have a great deal to talk about and many places to go.
Can I sense motive on this?
Oh, finally start to sense motive on the MVZs. Yes, go right ahead.
We're going to add expertise to that.
Oh, good.
So that's a 35.
Okay. I mean, she seems to have the exact same motivation. She seems a very no-nonsense business lady. And I mean, maybe there's a little bit of like fear in her voice, but for the most part, she is no nonsense here. And you can tell that she seems a great deal more kind of stressed and focused than when you talked to her last on Jedrat.
Does she seem to have any self-serving nature to this?
I mean, she's getting paid right now too, so she's on the job.
So while Rami certainly matured in the 3 years between seasons, he hasn't matured that much. So he is going to continue to be obstinate, and he is going to summon a phantom cycle and says, I'll just follow you.
Okay, well, can you please be on comms? I have a lot to go over.
Yeah, I'm always on comms. I'm always listening.
Are the rest of you okay getting into this vehicle?
I climb on top of the car, and I'll just ride up there. I try to get in, but like this, it's not. This. I need a bigger car.
Where are we going?
You can take your
I have
armor off.
fancy new legs. I could just run.
I don't.
Can we not be difficult just one day? Just one day.
Please, we have so many meetings. Please. Yeah. Well,
does Gnak want to ride with Rami?
No, I have to keep up some sort of pretense here. Can we?
All right. Well, I'll go with you, Safina, but I'm driving.
No, you really can't do that.
We're going to put up the privacy screen.
For insurance purposes,
I got shotgun. I've got shotgun.
I have very good insurance, Miss Knotts, I assure you. You know how many times I've had to make payouts due to this spear? So many times.
Cattywampus has already got a sleeper hold on the driver. He's like, no, I'm driving.
Oh, he beat me to it.
Pilot.
Fine, well, shotgun then.
Yeah, so she'll allow you in, and as you can indeed, there's like a toe that they hit you up on the back, and you're just like skating behind it.
Yeah.
Right, with the beginning of
when I summon my Phantom Cycle, I can bring someone with me. I could probably summon a sizable sidecar.
Oh, I need a big sidecar. I need a wagon.
How awesome would that be? It's like you see this little cycle that's pulling this gigantic dude.
And it's his butt scraping on the ground and making sparks as he's dragged along.
It's like a TARDIS. It's a little bit bigger on the inside, so it's like a compact sedan, but you all file in like a clown car.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you all have
except
probably... Me. Yeah, except Rami, because we want this this 10-mile drive to be the longest part of this episode, except Rami. Yes, make sure everyone in the podcast listening knows he's on a cycle. Vroom, vroom. Make the noise, Myles. Vroom, vroom. Okay, and the ride is done. We're at the station. No, she says over comms. You all have probably heard the news already, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page. A massive ship has shown up in Pact World space, and all of our projections show it moving toward the center of the star system, towards Absalom Station.
Oh, I was thinking it might be the star would be the center of the... But no, yeah, Absalom is also important. Good call.
Well, because of the Starstone, this is really the center of the universe, and this is where our corporate headquarters are, so it's of utmost importance.
That's why you put the headquarters there, of course.
They've been trying to make contact with it for the last 24 hours, and we believe every vessel that has gone out to it has been destroyed, so none of them really stood a ghost of a chance.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like any of the Civian technology we've encountered so far, it's not very big on organic life, and it's very high and mighty on its self-propulsion robot things.
Now, I have to clarify. You say they're believed lost. What evidence do we have?
Well, they have gone dark, and they've not made contact since they've gotten within 15 parsecs of
pretty good evidence. Pretty good
of this ship. So we're assuming they're lost, but we are making contingencies right now because the Absalom Station is not like the Adari. We don't have the capacity to move out of this thing's way. If this ship is hostile and everything that we suggest from your notes, if this is indeed Civ, well, I don't know where that leaves us, but I don't know where it leaves the Pact worlds in general. That's why they're requesting to speak with you all. It won't surprise you to hear that the Directorate, the Pact Council, has convened to discuss this issue. They've been in sessions all night long. And yeah, you're here to speak with them. But
that's pretty smart of them because we are kind of the experts on blowing up ships larger than planets. We've done it.
Edrass, we just saved one from blowing up. So we can
I know, which really kind of goes against our whole like shtick. So I'm kind of, I really haven't felt good about it.
It makes me wonder: do we need these people to deliberate for us? Can we just go on and go? I mean, we are kind of, I mean, the problem solvers here.
As powerful as the Drift Rider is, it will not survive. I can tell you that right now. So,
what a fun anticlimactic way to die in space.
Yeah, this season got real short. When they just
we'll figure something out.
Smacked into the ship.
They'll remake the ship, but they'll call it Rami's Arrogance.
as you all just said, they rightly think that you are the people with the most knowledge in the system about whatever it is this is approaching us. Accurate. Even if that information isn't much, the Director needs to be informed, as they have a lot of people and resources that they need acclimated and organized. And well, I've taken care of all the particulars, the political and legal things that need to be discussed, but I have also received a very interesting call from a priest of Eloritu. I have no idea how she got my personal line and how she knew that I was going to be working for you, but they called as soon as you arrived on the station, and well, she's claiming she saw one of you in her divinations and insisted that indeed, if you have this crucial information about this approaching threat, that you need to speak with her first. I didn't ask for much after that, but she seemed to have some pull with Abadar Corps, as they want this meeting to happen too. So anyway, I found that when it comes to lore to clergy, asking questions only gets you more questions in response, as aggravating as it is. But as I said, Abadar Corps wants you to meet with them, so we have set up a very fast meeting before your debut on the council directorate at the Golden Vault.
Does it smell Orby to anybody else?
Orby? What do you mean? Orbeez?
Yes, Orbeez.
No,
which is Space Arby's.
So solid.
Yeah, no. He's talking about in a recent battle we had. Rami was.
We? Where were you?
What do you mean, where was I? I was killing Gnak. Calm down, I was there.
Oh, we all remember.
I thought no. Drew, if I'm not mistaken, is specifically referencing the Gnak Rami episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the rune that appeared over your head when you were cured of confusion.
That's tied to the Gnak Rami episode.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys are discussing this in front of Miss Knotts, and she's like, "Yeah, I really don't quite understand what you're talking about." But your adventures sound
adults are talking here.
Knotts is like, "I thought I watched every episode of your content, and I."
Well, I know you all have a somewhat vested interest in Jedrat, but indeed, I wanted to thank you for making this trip. We are being bankrolled by the Golden Vault, and they are providing, well, the majority of my base pay, which is a 750 credit per hour tab, with travel included.
Someone needs a raise.
But so, yeah. What are you saying? I should waste time so that you get paid more? I mean, I could do that.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit worried about the potential death cruiser that seems to be heading directly our direction.
Let's talk to the bureaucrats and see what they think needs to be done, and then we'll go do what needs to actually be done.
If we have to evacuate, then I'm ready to do that as well. But yes,
okay.
Let's go. You know, maybe we'll run into an old friend on this Pact Council. I don't know.
Yeah, as you pull up to the Golden Vault in the core ring of Absalom's bubble, you're met with a massive golden tower set before a skyscraper, nearly touches the dome's ceiling, and a huge golden key, the logo of the Abadar Corporation, hanging outside the windows, maybe across 10 floors of this building, and gaudy yellow neon lights. Outside, there are news stories playing everywhere. Now reporting from Liavara, where you just came from, the massive gas giant, and this gargantuan ship has entered into the space around it. You get another report from out in the system, and you see an odd-looking alien says, "This is Jojo Bobu Boku reporting for LV426 News. This massive vessel has entered local space just hours ago. The security interceptors have gone dark, and there's still no close-up scans of the vessel. Large sections of this ship is said to have been ejected and is on a course for impact with Hib Space. All effort to communicate has been met with silence." There's another update now from Absalom Station News. Lyda Lantrell here. Defying Pact security protocols and ignoring the Council Directorate, Eoxian ships have begun to engage the mystery vessel in hit-and-run encounters. They're capital ships. So far, undead casualties have been low, but these sorties have not slowed the advance of this impending invader. As you enter the Golden Vault, and everyone in this lobby, which is kind of like a mix between a modern art installation and an ancient church. You see pews of congregants kind of praying for their stocks to bound back, all of them with data pads doom scrolling through the news as well. You see clerks and bank-like counters on the side behind force field screens, and everyone glued, like I said, to hollow monitors and things. Miss Knotts kind of leads you towards the back through some security guards and through the crowd past the main altars to a larger office with conference room kind of vibes to it, some sleek hover chairs to relax in, and you're not there for too long before a door opens up, side door, and an older human with maybe a few accessories, save a large blue scarf around her head, some gray gloves, and wearing a 3-piece suit. Looks very refined, sparkles as she moves, kind of comes in and takes a seat and bids you all do the same.
I sit.
I mean, playing to type Rami stands.
Gnak takes a sort of roundabout way around the room to take the seat closest to this person.
Isafana Knotts will introduce herself and says, you must be Cambrisa June, priest of Eloratu. Allow me to introduce you to the crew of the Driftrider, Starfinder Venture Captains, recently returned from Hib, yada yada. Mother June, you have exactly 15 minutes here before I am moving them on to their next meeting at the Planara, so please, converse, do what you need to do. She introduces herself and says, yes, I am Cambrisa June, to decipher the mysteries of the universe in a quarter of an hour. Surely less has been done with more time, but never such a feat has been attempted in so short a while, so I won't keep the Council Directorate waiting on us. I just gathered from all you saw there on Hib, perhaps indeed this was a circumstance that could not be understood without some greater illumination. She will pull out a small comms device and kind of slide it across the table, and on it is a holographic representation of something very similar to the symbol of Iloritu that you all saw on board the World Seed. From the report from Uso, that was the 7th day you last saw this symbol, Rami, is it not? Indeed, this is the one you saw when you had your confusion broken in the fight with the Adiko Daemon.
Yes, it is. This is the first interesting thing that's happened this entire time.
But you saw this as well on the ship of the World Seed, and also as it appeared to you in your mind's eye. Is that right?
Yes.
Our divine being does not often reveal itself, and when it does, it is typically a grave matter indeed. I would wager at that same minute, perhaps the second that it revealed itself to you, I also saw this symbol in a dream I was having here on Absalom Station. And if that's the case, then it is possible there are others who received the gift as well, those bound up with the same purpose and mission. The entity known as Iloritu has spoke to us in its tongue of magic, and Rami Quinn-Darr, it spoke to both you and I directly. Let me further introduce myself. I am a high priest of the hidden truth, an archmage of the circle of the substantial stone. We focus our study on mysteries of Absalom Station's past and present, and well, my focus is on the station's Starstone and its history, seeking history of it from before the gap and learning what we can of its powers. Do you'll have any questions of her?
What is it that you think that this symbol means? What might it signify?
Iloritu is a great unknown in our universe, but it has been theorized that it has been around for perhaps even longer than the planet of Galarion. This entire star system has existed and has revealed different elements of its symbols in that time. As I said, whenever it does reveal one, it is in a time of great importance. That is all I can say, really.
Sense motive.
On what?
On everything that she has said so far.
If you want to ask,
is that how sense motive works? You're just like, I want to know all lies that were spoken.
If you want to ask a question, Drew, that's one thing. But this isn't like a. Well, I mean, what would you like to know?
Polygraph.
I mean, she's talking to us about a lot of stuff, and she is telling us about a lot of things with crazy visions and stuff like that happened at the same time that there was a vision with Rami. Rami's a famous person. It seems like, there's some Gnak is a little suspicious of the motivations of someone that has suddenly gotten to bypass all of the, like we're meeting with this person before we meet with the Pact Council. Like that seems suspicious to Gnak.
Well, do you want to ask about that?
So why are we talking to you and not the Pact Council? Can you tell me that? You seem like you are talking a lot of stuff about this being that we happen to have some sort of maybe relationship with or encounter with. But why are you here when people that can do something are in the next room that we haven't talked to yet?
Yeah, what is your aim here? Because you were talking about how we have this shared destiny. Are you trying to come with us? Like what's the end game here for you?
I have consulted with my god, the powers of magic in this universe, for a solution to the mystery of this approaching ship, and it continuously has revealed the 5 of you. Not just you, Rami, but all of you. I'm not sure what more I can explain, but I realize that you are incredibly important in what is to come. But perhaps maybe Rami and I are tied to this destiny. But of this incoming vessel, I am here to know firsthand of your experiences on Hib and Jeterat, as is the rest of our directorate.
Sure, but you'll forgive us with everything we've been through if we don't particularly trust someone who happens to know exactly what happened in that moment.
Well, as I perhaps Isafena Nuts has described here, I got a report from Abadar Corps that I was able to read, and when you all described what you saw down in the World Seed, I knew exactly that we had seen the same thing. And indeed, as I said, Rami, my god is a fairly fickle one, and giving out information of this symbol to you, there was a purpose for that. And what that purpose is, we shall endeavor to find out together. But I'm sorry, our time is very short here. I could see her tapping her watch.
Yeah. So is my patience, because I don't understand. You're continually being vague. Are you trying to come with us? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do here.
I'm trying to help in whatever ways that I can. As I said, the entity known as Aloratu has deemed it important to reveal itself to you, someone who has not worshipped it and studied its mysteries before. I understand many quickly tire of this answer, but what is known is that we have a great deal that is unknown about our destiny together. I just wanted to first introduce myself, but also explain that I don't believe you will be able to escape whatever is to come here.
Rami just turns to Gnak. See, this is why I drank so much.
You don't think that the rune you all saw is tied to like the whole Allura 2 rune puzzle thing, right?
I mean that it was a full rune of Allura 2. So this is, I mean, in game terms, this is indeed a major religious kind of breakthrough for this church.
So, I think Edrass would maybe turn to Gnak and Rami and explain that just a little bit. Just say like,
their religion has a series of runes that have mysterious knowledge and all sorts of stuff behind it, and there's only like 2 left unknown, and this would be one of them. So kind of a big deal for them.
She'll ask if there's any other crazy occurrences that happened to you, Rami, maybe while you're on Hib or Jeterat.
How much time you got?
There's the whole clone thing.
We're gonna have to get that in the weeds.
We've got several episodes of content that we just feed to her.
Let me replay the last 20 episodes real quick. Yeah.
I've been definitely trying to find a moment where I can just say hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, but at the same time, like, I'm a spellcaster, so I can't say that.
Yeah. Well, do you mention the giant orb that attacked you too on Jeterat?
I mean, I think so. Here's the thing: is while Rami is honestly frustrated with this entire situation, I think he will, having heard her out, will bring up the adventure that he and Gnak had with this orb. And
her eyes go wide at that. She's like, an orb tracked you down before this happened. You say, oh, okay, that is new information to me.
Well, yeah, it was a private skirmish. It should be new information to you. Or wait, was the reporter reporting at that?
Yeah, she was there, but I don't think.
Okay, so this person's just not well informed.
I mean, that wasn't like, there was also like nukes that were going off on the planet as you fought like the giant ships and things like that.
Yeah, but Rami was on TV. Come on.
There was some other news that happened. Yeah, I don't think she recorded that fight, but she definitely reported on.
So Rami basically explains the entire episode that was Gnak and Rami's excellent adventure.
Well, we believe these circumstances that brought you to Jeterat, the fates that align that then took you to Hib, well, these were all likely foretold in various ancient traditions of soothsaying and fortune-telling. So we are seeking an immediate audience with a sect of Leovaran dreamers, but their services of fortune-telling are in high demand currently. Hopefully more of this plot can be revealed as time progresses, but it seems time is the one currency that we are running out of here. We have plenty of regular currency, and as such, I've spoken with the priests of Abadar Corps of giving us a loan, and for your time in speaking with the directorate. We have I mean, it might be chump change to you, Gnak and Rami, but 1.25 million credits to help you in preparing for whatever is to come.
Now you're speaking our language.
What?
I imagine here in the Church of Avadark, where that might get your attention.
So sorry. What are they looking for out of the Leovaran worshippers?
They are looking to tell the future to see what is going to happen with this ship approaching Absalom Station. But currently, there is not a lot, except she has done some divination, and indeed, most everything comes back with images of you all, particularly around Rami and the rest of you. So that is, I mean, besides the fact that you all are kind of the center of the universe once again because of your interaction with the Civ the last few weeks. Yeah, the Directorate Council, which is basically the highest governing body here in the Pact Worlds, are looking to speak with you directly. And as such, you're getting quite a credit drop just to be able to bend your ear for a few hours. Ooh. Yeah, and speaking of which, Ethan starts tapping her watch and just like, oh yes, we are already late for this meeting, so we need no argument. We need you to really get back in that vehicle and head to the Planara right now, everyone. I'm so sorry.
All right, I'm driving.
As we exit, I cast Augury, and I look forward to see if we will meet again, me and this person.
The person who's trying to tie themselves to our mission, I can save you some time there, buddy.
I'm sure that we will, but
as I'm casting a spell, Patrick, I'm not asking you.
Are you casting a spell of asking if you'll see them again?
Right. Well, okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to tie in the fact that I'm a Leovaran dream prophet to this. Like, that's my theme.
Oh,
so, but like. It is a little clumsy, and
oh, you think you're going to have the information that the people that have been doing this forever don't have access to? We shall see, because as you begin to try to make your way through the future and the possible branches of the timeline, we're diving back into the mind, the exocortex of Andis, and we see recovering all the Andises that were hit with the stasis cloud effect, and they hear your words and your seeking of knowledge that perhaps they will collectively be able to apply. And obviously their response is to be continued.
Oh, spooky.
There are a number of mysteries that we get to Scooby-Doo out this book and the rest of this season. But yeah, I mean, if you thought there was a little information dump in this episode, wait till we meet the directorate, the Pact Council directorate next week. We have a whole bunch of NPCs, new NPCs to meet with. But that's next time here on Cosmic Crit. Next episode. Guys, thanks for playing with me tonight.
Thank you.
Patrick. Oh, man, it's so great to have an episode without imminent death. Oh.
Oh, but yeah, by the way, the car tries to
Did you eat the snacks?
You really should have killed that driver. He's coming for you, Gnak. You didn't sense motive on him. The one guy you didn't. That's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for playing with me, and we'll catch you next week, everybody. Good night.
Have a good week.
Didn't say yar. Didn't say yar. Way to go.
I'll do it for you.
Yar.
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 I believe in you.
Yar. I believe in Yar.
You didn't do it.
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.